Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your connection to the person that you are dealing with and needing to learn the most from right now. We're looking at all three sides of it. We've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle, really looking at what is the purpose of this connection and what is the best way to move forward with it in order to align further with your higher self. As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall energy for each side of the connection and clarified those messages, which we'll jump into in just a second. But we have a different tarot deck that we'll be jumping into for each side as well. Please remember, these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone. So remember to take what resonates and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. Furthermore, these energies can absolutely be swapped. So if you resonate more with the energy to my right than to my left, or if you're a cross watcher then vice versa, just know that's totally fine and totally normal. Again, take what helps, leave what doesn't. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. All right, Sagittarius. On your side of this connection, you have courage with the Judgment in reverse. This Judgment in reverse card is an energy of needing to see the truth of something, like something that is needing to be revealed, something that's needing to come to light that hasn't. I don't know if that's like an actual, like something that's actually happened, or like a perception or something, but we'll see when we dive into tarot. Now, this courage card, I feel like this connection has really messed with your confidence. I feel like it has made you feel a little bit more powerless than powerful. Not that you are typically an unconfident person or anything like that, but just that in particular, I don't know if this connection is just super triggering or what. It has messed with your sense of confidence and like knowing what you deserve and, you know, things of that nature. But I do feel like with the Judgment in reverse, there's something that's needing to be brought to light. So I'm hoping that we'll get information on that when we dive into tarot. Now, this person, they have karmic path with devil. This person is kind of a little lost right now. That's the best way I can describe it. It feels like they're kind of on this path, like with the devil in some way, shape, or form. Like some sort of like, it could be an addiction, it could be a codependency, I don't know. But they are dealing with some sort of a karmic situation right now. I wonder what this devil is. Kind of feels like it might kind of be their energy. I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on that person's side yet. I feel like it's like, because at first it felt like they were, you know, I was like, oh, karmic, you know, they were a karmic connection for you, which could be true. There could be a karmic cycle that exists, but I feel like that would actually be here if that were the case. So I'm actually feeling like this has more to do with like their current energy, which I guess this is their energy, but sometimes it can apply to the connection. I don't know. We'll see when we dive in. And now that in between this connection, you have veiled with the Six of Cups in reverse. This veiled card is kind of mirroring similar energy, this Judgment in reverse, like something that's been hidden. But then the Six of Cups in reverse is like from the past, like something from the past coming back. It could be like a situation, obviously a person, but I'm not saying that that's the case. Those of you know that I'm not one of those readers that's like, oh, you know, your past is coming back. They miss you so much. That's not what I'm saying. But I do feel like there's something from your past that's needing to be, I don't know, it's like something from your past that is something from it that's needing to be, something about it that's needing to be revealed. I don't know though. We'll see when we dive in. All right, Sagittarius, let's start with your side of this connection, clarifying courage with the Judgment in reverse. So Sagittarius' side of this connection, clarifying courage with the Judgment in reverse, please. This is Sagittarius' side of this connection. Sagittarius' side of this connection, please. So yeah, I feel like this is a connection that has fallen apart. It does feel like it's kind of like a past connection of some sort, or it's a connection that mirrors an aspect of your past. But I do feel like with the Three of Cups in reverse that things kind of fell apart here. It doesn't necessarily need to be the case. Like there doesn't need to necessarily be separation, but things can kind of feel like they're falling apart before separation actually occurs. But the Nine of Wands in reverse is an energy of this like I feel like this connection has brought a lot of obstacles to your life in some way, shape, or form. Like has made things just really difficult on you, especially ever since this Three of Cups in reverse. And again, I feel like it's because you're dealing with the effects that this connection had on like your confidence, on like maybe your self-worth a little bit. Not that you have low self-worth, but sometimes certain connections can poke at us so much that those, fears, doubts, and insecurities can be brought to the surface, and it can kind of affect us moving forward. And so I feel like it's like, yeah, you're dealing with a lot of blockages in regard to this connection. Sagittarius' energy toward the person they are dealing with. I had someone say they don't like when I pull a card and I put it back in the deck. When a card is pulled and I put it back in the deck, sometimes it feels like they just fall out instead of come out. And if the messages were supposed to come out, they will again. So just some insight into how I read. All right, Sagittarius' side of this connection. Sagittarius' side of this connection, please. Sagittarius' side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. Okay. Okay. You're looking to get some justice here. I feel like, so you have the Three of Wands in reverse, Seven of Pentacles in reverse, Justice with the Emperor, and then you have the Six of Swords and the Six of Pentacles in reverse here with the Empress in reverse, and the Seven of Wands in reverse. Whoa, okay. The universe is asking you to reevaluate a lot of things about this connection, because I feel like you put a lot into this. I feel like you poured into this in a certain way, maybe with time and energy, not just love, but like you really gave this all you had. And I feel like you received very little in return. And I feel like it's been very difficult for you to move forward from this connection, because again, I feel like things have kind of fallen apart here. So I do feel like this is a past connection. You know what this energy is similar to is the Gemini reading I did this week. So it was the what was the name of that reading? I don't remember. But the Gemini reading that I did this week, which would have posted on Wednesday, I believe. Tuesday. No. Yes, Tuesday. Would have posted on Tuesday of this week. Wednesday. Definitely Wednesday. If there's any interest in that, I recommend going to watch it. Anyway, it's similar because it's like that energy of like you gave so much of this, so much of yourself to this, and received very little in return. And now it's been hard for you to move on because you feel like you've kind of been screwed over. And that the aspect of feeling like you haven't received your justice in this connection has been the hardest thing for you to fully move on from. But the universe is asking you to kind of, in a way, reevaluate how this connection lives in your comfort zone. Because Sagittarius, I feel like you're pretty used to relationships that you feel you have to fight for or prove yourself for, or overgive to in order for them to give back to you, or something like that. Like it feels like that's like your comfort zone with this Three of Wands in reverse. And the universe is asking you to reevaluate that, because I feel like that might make it feel a little bit easier to try to let go, because I feel like even if you don't want this connection to affect you as much as it does, it still definitely does affect you. Sagittarius's energy toward the person they are dealing with. Sagittarius's energy toward this person. Ooh. Sagittarius's side of this connection. King of Cups in reverse. Ten of Cups in reverse. The World. Woo! And the Four of Swords in reverse. Sorry, all those were flipped upside down. Okay. You were not treated well in this. With the King of Cups in reverse, this can be an energy of emotional manipulation of some sort. Now, I feel like you had certain expectations of this person maybe eventually changing or seeing your worth or finally deciding to treat you right or something like that. And that never happened. And so you were left with this Four of Swords in reverse energy, this feeling really just drained and burnt out, like your soul literally feeling drained because it gave so much to something that didn't see your worth and therefore didn't return the favor, if you will, didn't reciprocate that energy. Now, that's the cycle I feel like that you're used to, the comfort zone that I feel like you're used to. I feel like you're used to investing in connections, feeling like you have to, it's like prove yourself or prove your worth in order for them to return the energy back to you, in order for them to give you the energy you deserve. Now, I feel like a lot of times what that can stem from is when we grow up in households where we feel like we're only really seen for like what we do or like our achievements or for what we are instead of like for who we are, because I feel like you're struggling with that specifically in this connection. And I feel like there's a part of you, Sagittarius, that is struggling to feel like it's like you feel like you weren't good enough for this person. Because especially if they chose some sort of devil over you, whatever that karmic devil is, then I feel like you're struggling with feeling like you weren't good enough. Now, that devil doesn't have to be another person. Again, it can be like an addiction. It can be like not even just an addiction to like a substance, but like an addiction to like a job or I don't know. It could literally be anything. It could obviously be another person, but it feels like since they are pursuing this kind of karmic path with this devil, it's heavily affecting how you feel about yourself. Because I feel like you're like, I gave and gave and gave to this. And this is why this energy really reminds me of the Gemini reading, is it's like you gave and gave and gave to this, but received back almost nothing. So there's a part of you that's like, wow, I gave this everything I had and it still wasn't good enough. And I feel like that's where you're struggling the most with this, because you weren't treated well in this. But that's why there's this truth with the Judgment. There's something that needs to be seen, something that needs to be brought to the surface. This is Sagittarius' side of this connection. This is Sagittarius' side of this connection. Queen of Pentacles in reverse, Queen of Wands. Three of Wands in reverse, which we already saw. Ooh, okay. Okay. You're in a kind of an energy of feeling pretty ungrounded. And maybe it's because of this, like what this person is doing. Like that's what's making you feel ungrounded. Because I really do feel like this person's actions are heavily affecting the way you feel about yourself and what you're deserving of. And I do feel like when we jump into this side, you will be able to see that they're very separate. Because I feel like you feel like this person is playing it safe by running from this connection, by choosing the path of the devil. But you're also playing it safe we're playing it safe in this connection by choosing someone that didn't reciprocate to you. Now, there might have been hope of that expectation. Eventually this person would wake up one day, they would do the healing, they'd do the inner work, they'd eventually, step up to the plate and give you what you deserve. And that's where you're looking for that justice. You're looking to feel like you got what you deserve in this connection. When in reality, I feel like there's a bigger lesson in this than that. Like, this isn't just about you getting your justice. I'm not saying that you won't, but if in order for you to find some relief, because I feel like this is heavily affecting you still. And in order for you to find some relief and to be able to like live your life and, be able to attract the relationships that you deserve, I feel like there's something here that's needing to be like a lesson that's needing to be learned, or something that's needing to be brought to the surface. Because it seems as if this connection is actually an obstacle for you. It's not the source of your Ten of Cups, it's an obstacle towards your Ten of Cups. Sagittarius' energy toward this person. Sagittarius' energy toward this person. Yeah, because there's that King of Cups in reverse again, with the Three of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles with the Fool, and the Nine of Pentacles. Woo! Okay. So, yeah. You're dealing with this Three of Swords, with this King of Cups in reverse here. Like, the way that they treated you, it's kind of broken you in a way. Not saying you are broken or that you need to be fixed, but it feels like it has. Like, I feel like it's drained you and taken so much from you that you feel like you're having to like put the pieces back together, since this person like took off on this karmic path. I don't know what this is yet, but we'll see. But I also feel, because then you have the Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Fool. I also feel like it is still very much possible for you to get what you want in loving connections, and specifically connections of this variety. It's just going to look a little bit different than your expectations are right now. But at the end of the day, I feel like you're still very much going to get your wish fulfillment. Yeah, I know, I can see where this is headed. But let's get one more for Sagittarius' side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. So Sagittarius' side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. Sagittarius' side of this connection. Okay. So here's what's happening. This person, you have so much love and care for them, but they're off doing whatever with the devil. And you've taken that on as your own personal burden, meaning that you've taken their movements, choices, and decisions very personally, because it feels as if them choosing some sort of devil over you means that they like never cared about you, or that you weren't good enough for them. Like, that's what I feel like like you weren't good enough for them is what you feel like. Not that that's true. There is a little bit of trying to figure out how to put this the most gentle. Sometimes when people have hurt us and have kind of come into our life, wrecked it, and left, and we're just kind of left being like, what the hell? Well, we then look for that person to then be what heals what they've hurt. So we say, okay, this person came in, they wreck your life, they leave. And then we say, oh, I want them to come back, or I want them to love me, or I want them to see my value, or I want them to apologize. Even if like you don't want to take them back, like we want them to come back so we can tell them to F off, or like maybe you do want them to come back because you do have so much love for them that, you know, you're willing to kind of see past the way they treated you, which is kind of putting them ahead, you know, the love of them ahead of the love of yourself. But what I'm getting at is sometimes we look for the person who hurt us to be the person that heals us. And we do that because we think that that person's changed behavior is going to be the antidote to our hurt that they caused. But the thing is that you cannot heal in the same environment that broke you, and the same person that hurt you cannot give you the space for your healing, because that's just not going to be how things work. They're going to trigger more of that hurt than they're actually going to trigger your healing. And so what's happening right now, and this reminds me, and I've talked about this book in so many of my readings this week. I'm rereading a book, but I don't remember really reading it before. Maybe I didn't implement the stuff in it, but it's Judgment Detox by Gabrielle Bernstein. I talk about her a lot on my channel. She's a spiritual teacher, and her words and her messages are extremely powerful and very much resonate with a lot of the things that I talk about on my channel. And in this book, it talks all about how the most loving thing that we can do for anybody on this earth is accept who they are as a person and adjust our proximity and our actions accordingly. Meaning that we say that's who that person is, I accept, and then we make our decisions based on who that person is at the moment. The most unloving thing that we can do is trying or thinking that somebody needs to change. Because what that does is that takes that person's need to kind of hit rock bottom away. And it's saying, I'm going to change them, I'm going to heal them, I'm going to fix them for me. And that kind of, you know, everyone has that inner guidance system, right? Everyone is kind of going through this path of life with their own inner guidance system. And maybe this karmic path is what this person needs to be on, right? Well, there's a part of you, Sagittarius, that feels that this person needs to change in order for you to feel healed and loved, in order for you to get the love that you deserve. Now, you may reflect it as, no, I love this person and I want what's best for them. Okay, that's absolutely valid. But then on the flip side, you're also looking for this person's healing to help you heal as well. And I can say this confidently because I've freaking been there. I've been there with someone who I thought was my twin flame for the longest time. And I tried to get this person to see that they needed to heal, that they needed to grow, that they needed to face their stuff in order for them to live the life that they wanted. And for the longest time, it was, I care about them, I love them, I want what's best for them. But then after a long time, I realized that I was taking their healing journey and making it about me. And when we do that, it comes because a lot of times when people make us feel unloved, we then look for them to be the antidote to our feelings of being unloved. And so we say, I need you to love me or else I'm going to continue to feel unloved. And that within itself is where that chaser runner dynamic kind of comes from. Because then that person, everything that happens metaphysically is you're saying, I need this love from you. And this person is saying, I don't know how to do that. And they run from that, right? So I'm not saying that this person isn't capable of coming around at some point in their life, but what I am saying is that you shouldn't feel like this person has to change or evolve or grow or heal or see your worth or apologize or take accountability in order for you to live the life that you desire, in order for you to have the love and the relationships that you deserve. That should not depend on anybody else but yourself. When you start to make decisions based on who other people show you that they are instead of who you think they can be, life gets a hell of a lot peaceful. I promise you. Now, that's really difficult when you do very much love somebody. But remember what I just said, the most loving thing you can do is accept someone as they are. The most unloving thing you can do is think that they need to change. And so if you're trying to come from that place of unconditional love, being able to say, I love this person unconditionally, and obviously I want what's best for them, and maybe this karmic path that they're on right now with this devil, maybe that's what's best for them, and I have to live my life, focus on my healing, focus on my happiness, instead of trying to worry so much about this person's healing and happiness. Because when we love someone, we care about someone, it's really easy for us to do that. But then we do ourselves an injustice and a disservice when we give so much of our time and energy to that person. And I promise those were all channeled messages. That's not me just talking. All right, this person's energy towards Sagittarius. Because that was a pretty big message that came through there at the end. And I feel like that's kind of this truth that's needing to be seen, is this person's actions. It has nothing to do with your worth. It has nothing to do with the fact that you weren't good enough. It has everything to do with this person's life path and the fact that this is where they're supposed to be right now. And you are supposed to be exactly where you are, which is hard to internalize sometimes. All right, this person's energy towards Sagittarius, clarifying the devil with karmic path. This person's energy towards Sagittarius, clarifying the devil. See, that was one of those, I just feel like it fell out. Like, I don't feel like that was supposed to come out. And there's a difference. Like, I feel it. Like, it's like I accidentally messed up on my shuffling versus like a card that's like comes out. Okay, this person's energy towards Sagittarius. And these cards are super slippery. Okay. Death in reverse and the Lovers in reverse. This person, they struggle to see their own worth. They struggle within being able to see what it is that they're deserving of. However, in addition to that, they really resist the changes that are necessary to do something about that. So I feel like they act from a place of trying to protect themselves from the fact that they don't feel deserving and lovable. And that is often where people get themselves into karmic situations, right? So I feel like this person does have healing that's needing to be done. But then on the flip side, with the death in reverse, is resisting any sort of changes that need to take place in order for them to do that healing. And I feel like then on the flip side, you kind of take that personally and feel like they're not choosing to do the healing, or they don't care about you enough to do the healing, when in reality, it's their own inner world that they're at war with. It has nothing to do with you, right? Their projection of your value has everything to do with how they feel about themselves. This person's energy towards Sagittarius. Six of Swords in reverse, King of Wands, 10 of Wands. Huh. This King of Wands is you, but it's them too. It's like this is a reflection of your own energy. So yes, that's where a lot of people think twin flame. So here's the hardest thing to recognize about this connection is you look at this person and you see that they don't feel, or they don't see their own value, and they don't know how to give and receive love, and they're acting accordingly, right? Okay, but on the flip side, I want you to bear with me. This might be a triggering message, but I'm going to explain it further. On the flip side, I feel like what's happening is they're actually projecting to you all of those things that you feel about yourself. It's really easy to see when someone else doesn't see their own worth. It's not so easy to see when we don't see our own worth too. When I was dealing with the person that I thought was my twin flame, could still very well be, woke me up, put me on a spiritual journey, had a lot to do with my healing process. I'm not going to label it because I don't think that person was ever supposed to be in my life further than he was. But for the longest time, I was able to see, oh, this person needs to heal. This person doesn't love himself. He doesn't know how to give and receive love. He uses his ego to protect himself from love. He chooses situations that are safe rather than pursuing the things that make him feel uncomfortable. All of this stuff that it was so easy to see in this person. And then once I got a little bit into my healing journey, I said, oh, that's also the things that I do. I don't see my own worth, so I chase people thinking that if I get them to see their worth, then I'll see my worth. I play it safe in connections where I feel like I'm constantly being rejected because I've never actually felt what it's like to be unconditionally loved. I choose, I would choose addiction and pursuing karmic situations because I didn't know how to give and receive love in a healthy way. So all of the things that I was saying about him were a direct reflection of all of the things that I was dealing with within. And the more that we put this judgment on people and we say, oh, they're doing things wrong, they're choosing the wrong path, they're, XYZ, what we're actually doing is reflecting in us things that we feel about ourselves, about our current life, or things that we've done in our past. A judgment towards other people is always reflected back at self-judgment. In that book, Judgment Detox by Gabby Bernstein talks a lot about that. And so I'm not saying that you're judgmental. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're sitting here like judging this person or anything like that. But I do feel like you see how they are making decisions that aren't best for them. And you feel like if they could make better decisions for themselves, then they would be able to reach their fullest potential, which if they reach their fullest potential, then you and this person could then have a healthy relationship. But I feel like in a backward sense, you're looking for this person to reach their potential so you can reach yours. And that was a really hard thing that I had to learn in that connection, that I was attached to this connection for years. Like, this wasn't just like a few months kind of thing. And so when I talk about this stuff, there is no judgment coming from me. Please know that I freaking get it. And I've been there. And I used to be a reader for twin flames because I used to have someone that I wanted to come back for me. And then I learned after about a year and a half of doing that all I was doing was keeping myself attached to an incredibly unhealthy cycle. So even if you believe you're dealing with someone who is, that person in your life or whatever the case is, the more that you can focus on yourself and the detachment from the connection, the better off you're going to be, because two things are going to happen. You're either going to heal, move forward, detach, and you're going to find the love that's meant to be in your life, or you're going to heal, move forward, detach, and this person will come back. But detachment, getting to a point where you are completely indifferent about whether or not the person that you end up with in this life is this person or someone else, that is the key. Because that detachment is where you stop chasing that person and then they stop trying to run from it. And so I feel like there's a little bit of chasing this person, thinking that you need them to heal, or you need them to be happy, or you need them to feel loved. And I do feel like that's caught you stuck in a pretty painful cycle, Sagittarius. I hope these messages aren't too triggering, because my gosh. This is this person's energy towards Sagittarius. This person's energy towards Sagittarius. If you've made it this far in this reading, I'm impressed, because there's been some triggering messages. Okay. So, this person is dealing with a third party that is incredibly affecting this connection. And that third party is this devil in this karmic path. And you know that. You know that this devil energy isn't what's best for them. But, let me clarify this. You cannot take on the responsibility of other people's healing, because you will find yourself consistently disappointed by other people because you have no control over it. So yeah, there's the karmic cycle. It could be with an earth sign. I don't like to, but it could be. But there's that judgment in reverse. This is what you're needing to see. So yes, this person is dealing with a third party that is affecting their ability to fully show up for this connection. It could be an addiction. Like I said, it could be an addiction. It could be their addiction to work. It could be their addiction to gambling. It could be literally anything that is directly affecting this connection. It could be mental health. It could be their codependency, which I guess could kind of, I kind of already talked about that. But what I'm getting at from this is that this person and the path that they're choosing has absolutely nothing to do with your journey and what you are capable of finding in love. And even if this is like a relationship that like, because I remember with that person I was dealing with, I felt like if I ever moved on to anyone else, it wouldn't be fair to them because I would always choose this person if they chose to come back. And as someone who finally moved on and is currently in a relationship with the person who is hands down the love of my life, I can tell you that that is now a laughable sentiment, thinking that if that person ever came back, that I would go back to them, because that is just not the case, because I am currently experiencing the unconditional love that I was looking for in the person who was incapable of it. And so it doesn't mean that I'm saying that this person isn't able to eventually get it together and stop choosing situations that are bad for them or anything like that. What I am saying is that you shouldn't feel like you have to wait for that to be the case in order for you to be healed and loved and living the life of your dreams. This person's energy towards Sagittarius, you can trust with 100% certainty that you are not here to wait for anybody to fix themselves. You are here to only focus on your own healing. This person's energy towards Sagittarius. The biggest conflict, it's not that they don't have love for this connection with the Two of Cups. The biggest conflict is the fact that they don't feel deserving of love. So they do have love for you. I really do feel like that's the case. But they also have absolutely no idea what to do with that love. And so I feel like this connection triggers them into feeling some pretty uncomfortable things. And this karmic path that they're choosing, I feel like is probably one that they are a little bit more familiar with and they have a little bit more control over. It's interesting because I feel like this person has more of an internal battle than an external battle when it comes to this connection. Meaning, I don't feel like they necessarily feel like they're in conflict with you. They very well could, but it feels like they don't know how to feel about this connection. This connection is very confusing for them. It's very overwhelming, and they don't understand like the way that it makes them feel or anything like that. And I feel like it causes them to kind of shut down and almost like shut off in a way so that they don't have to deal with the chaos that it brings. My gosh, my readings have been so long this week. This person's energy towards Sagittarius. This person's energy towards Sagittarius. They don't have the right idea about this Ten of Cups. I don't think they really know what a loving, healthy relationship looks like. And it's probably because they've never been in one. And every time they're presented with the opportunity of it, they probably run from it. People who don't know how to receive healthy relationships can often think that they're like boring or that they're not like exciting enough or that they're not, which isn't true. But it's true that there's not a lot of chaos and then there's not those highs and lows and all of that. I mean, sure, there's highs and lows in every relationship, but it's more like these kinds of highs and lows instead of like the extremes. And so if they don't know how to have those kinds of healthy relationships, they could be like that in relationships with all the people in their life, like just these extreme emotional intensity in their relationships that because they're so used to the unhealthy aspect, because I don't think they actually know how to sustain a healthy relationship. And so I feel like that's why this is such a karmic situation for them, is it almost feels like they're choosing situations in their life that align more with like unrealistic expectations as opposed to reality. So kind of sort of living in their own illusion in a way, we all are, but specifically around this devil here. We haven't seen the devil come out once, which is shocking. This person's energy towards Sagittarius, please. Six of Cups in reverse with the King of Wands. This person's energy is towards Sagittarius. Okay. should put that on the bottom here. Okay. Oh, and there's that Page of Cups too. So the Nine of Cups to the Two of Cups, they really do want healthy reciprocal love. Like they want love, but they don't have the emotional tools right now, the emotional maturity and self-awareness, and they haven't done the healing enough to be able to sustain it. Like I said, the Strength card is interesting. Oh, it's in reverse. So that's a freaking right here. That's a mirror, because they want this, but they don't have the confidence that they're capable of it. And then I feel like because they don't feel like they have the confidence that they're capable of it, they sabotage it, which then in turn mirrors back at you your lack of confidence in your ability to have and sustain the love that you desire. So there's quite a bit of mirroring going on here. I do feel like this person is like has a pretty intense purpose in your life. But that doesn't mean that this is the only person that will ever make you feel loved or valued or whole. Not that anyone can make you feel whole, but this is not the only person that can fill the spot that you're looking for. So keep that in mind. All right, Sagittarius, we're going to hop on over to the extended. I have veiled with the Six of Cups in reverse. This kind of like something from your past, and then something kind of being hidden here. Pulling 9 different messages, and I have an advice card to pull at the end. But before I hop on over, I want to talk about that this workshop that I won't shut up about. It is next week is the last week to register for it. The first session is on June 30th. It's a 4-part summer workshop series all about stepping fully into your power and creating the life of your dreams. If you watch my channel, then you know that is absolutely up my alley, and I'm really excited about it. It's only $20 for all 4 sessions. It's $5 a session, which is such a steal. So if that's something that resonates with you at all, I do hope to see you there. I'll be in it because I definitely feel like there will be some messages for me in there as well. So I obviously hope to see you guys there. Any information on it is in the link of the video that I've linked below, or is in the description box of the video I've linked below. So if you go at the top of the description box, there's going to be the video that I made, the announcement video. If you click on that and go to that video in that description box, you're going to see all of the information on it, including the link to register. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, as well as the facilitator of the series. Her information, she's a transformative wellness coach. All of her contact information, including her website and all of that, is in the description box of that video as well. So all right, Sagittarius, thank you so very much, as always, for your support of my channel. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right,